Hello everyone, and welcome to this quick video review of the VAER D5 Pacific, which is their newest dive collection. This is one of their models, and yeah, I'll just be doing a quick video review. I've done a more in-depth one on my blog, Hype and Style. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, so the first thing I want to mention is that VAER, as a brand, is doing a lot of good things. I think they have tons of dial designs. You can choose your movements. They have quartz, ETA, Miyota. So they're doing a lot of good things as a brand. I just want to mention that. And yeah, they just came out with this new dive collection, and this was definitely my favorite. So I'll be talking about this in detail right now. This is the D5 Pacific, so it's got the Miyota 9039 movement, and kind of a lot of Omega inspiration, you could say. 50s vintage Omega Seamaster, especially on the dial and case, even the hands as well. And yeah, I think they went for this. They was going for this vintage look, which I really like. The old radium or faux patina works pretty well here, especially with they've left some of it white, which I like. And yeah, I guess the overall design is a nod to vintage Omegas, but with a few twists that makes it quite original. For example, I love the bezel insert with the two-tone paint. Also the the display case back. That's not something you see on vintage dive watches, of course. And yeah, it's just pretty overall good look. Now, one thing you notice when you start studying the watch up close is that half of the indices are applied, which is, well, they could have actually gotten away with not doing that, but I guess the two owners, they're really into watches, and yeah, they wanted to do something unique and special, and you don't really notice it at first, but it's one of those details that as an owner and even though people can't see it, you still enjoy it. So I really like that. Overall, it's a brushed look, but they did polish the underside here of the bezel, which I really like too. That's a small little detail. And also the way the bezel is inserted with that sharp angle, which meets the angle of the beveled edge on the case on the side here. So it kind of gives this UFO look almost. And as you can see, the crystal is perfectly curved so that it kind of complements the curve, well, the slight tilt of the bezel insert, or the entire bezel, I would say. So it really looks good from the side. And then you've got this great Omega kind of case shape here with the really big curved beveled edges, which is something no brands are really doing out there, except Omega, of course. You rarely see it, and yeah, I'm glad they do it. They do have a little sharper, what do you call it, curve to them, which I think looks cool. But yeah, I'm happy they did it. It's a cool nod, and it looks really good on a NATO strap. So kudos to them. The hands, pretty vintage looking with the brushed tool watch satin finish on them and the white seconds hands, just like the old Omega Seamaster divers. And you've got this great and generously applied lume across the board, the X1 Superluminova Radium, which is a really nice touch, and it glows really well. There's a few lume shots on my blog. There'll be a link in the description. The back of the dial is black matte, which I really like. It's overall just a tool watch, and everything is pretty well finished for the price. I mean, the teeth on the bezel here are pretty good at gripping your skin without feeling cheap. The same with the crown. It's easy to grip, but it doesn't feel cheap. Maybe we can get a close look here. They're pretty well made for the money. What else? Let's see if we can get this running. Yeah, it's not it's a little hollow click for this price range. I wouldn't expect anything better, but there is really no play. The bezel is firmly inserted, so that's nice. What else? I love the little American assembly. They didn't really try to hide anything. This is American assembled, and it works. I mean, America can assemble just as well as the Swiss, I suppose. Very minimalistic dial. Just no extra info added, and no date, which I really really like. It just gives a clean, kind of a clean symmetric dial, which is rare now these days. I think a lot of watches would look better without date, so definitely a cool detail. Now if we look here, we'll see the Miyota 9039, which is actually the premium line from Miyota. It's a true no-date movement, and it's quite good. It's a good option. It's definitely not the cheap option, but you know, you can always get this one. They have a D7 version of this with the ETA, so that's a nice touch that you can actually just get an ETA if you want. But you know, this is a workhorse, so it'll work. Let's see if we can get the balance spring here. There we go. Sorry. All right. So this watch, you can get it with a metal strap with end links integrated. I prefer it on the leather because of the vintage look, of course. You can also get like a Tropic or nylon strap. They have tons of different straps, but I think it works pretty well with this kind of vintage leather dye strap. And yeah, there's not a lot of things wrong with this watch. The bezel insert is not completely aligned with the top marker here. Let's see if I can get a good shot of this. Yeah, so it's off by like half a degree, and you can't really. Oh no, I overshot it. So yeah, you really have to live with that. But it's not really a problem, and especially, I mean, you only see it when you look straight at the watch. Well, let me see if I can get it back here. So there we go. So yeah, so you can only see it if you look straight. But yeah, it's not a problem. I think it doesn't bother me that much. What else? There's nothing that I don't have any complaints except for that, pretty much. When you unscrew the crown, the threading is pretty even, but the crown will wobble a little when it's unscrewed. It's not fixed completely to the stem, but it's I've seen that on many watches, and yeah, you're not gonna use that. It's not gonna be in that position a lot of the time, so you know. And also there's a nice little touch. It's a little design touch. If you look at the indices inside, they have this slight curved angle, so they're not really touching or following the rehaut. And you wonder, well, that's kind of weird. But then when you look at it from this angle, there's a slight beveled edge to the crystal, which actually gives the illusion, and there we go, that they touch the rehaut. So that's a kind of, I don't know if they did that on purpose, but you can see it now. It kind of gives this really cool effect. So yeah, overall, VAER has, they have these two guys. I can't remember their names now, but they're definitely watch enthusiasts. They've done like a 30-minute intro to this dive collection, just talking about their own watches, which is cool. And they just, they have well thought out designs, quality build, good movements. They're not trying to rip you off. And yeah, they're doing so many things right. I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Definitely recommend this watch if you like the design, the no date, and check out their other collections, because they have other less vintage looking dive watches and also more vintage. They have one with a lot of white on the dial and this very cool red date wheel at the 6 o'clock position, which is a really nice model. That would be my second favorite perhaps. So yeah, there we go. Let's do a little wrist shot. So here it is on my wrist, and my wrists are 17 centimeters in circumference, and this is a 39mm watch, and it's pretty slim thanks to the no date and the good the slim movement. So this is it looks really good at my wrists. I wouldn't recommend this for really big wrists, but it would fit most men and women. So very, very good proportions on the dial and the case. Also the lugs, the way they curve down, kind of gives you the illusion and helps kind of hug the wrist. And it's really helpful if you have very small wrists, but if they're really big, it just looks weird because the strap will kind of go against that curve. But even on these wrists, kind of does it a little bit, but not that much. So definitely something to consider if you have small wrists. It would look good, big, good, but still hug the wrist. Also, you can kind of see there's a good anti-reflective coating that gives kind of a blue hue if you can catch it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and yeah, if I've been rambling on. This is kind of on the spot, on the spot review. I haven't really written a script or anything. I'm kind of winging it. If I've missed anything or you have more questions, you can always go to my blog hypandstyle.fr and check out the full written review, or ask me questions in the comments. All right, have a great day.